The fluorescent lights of the discount store buzzed faintly above her head as Sarah stood frozen in the toy aisle, fingers trembling against the frayed strap of her old handbag. The smell of plastic and cardboard hung in the air, the shelves around her filled with bright boxes and glittering pink dolls, Barbie dolls. The ones her little girl, Lily, had been dreaming about for months. Sarah's eyes caught one in particular, a Barbie with shiny blonde hair, a pink convertible, and a tiny golden crown. Lily had pointed at it the last time they passed by, her brown eyes lighting up with innocent hope. "Maybe for my birthday, Mommy," she had said. Now, standing there, Sarah could barely swallow past the lump in her throat. The price tag read $48.99. It might as well have been $4,000. She pulled out her wallet anyway, as if something might have changed since last week, maybe a miracle. But all she found were crumpled dollar bills, a few coins, and a half-used bus ticket. Rent was due in 2 days. Groceries were running low, and she still needed gas to get to her second job tomorrow. Her heart sank, heavy and suffocating. She reached up and gently touched the Barbie box, then pulled her hand away as though it burned. "I'm sorry, sweetheart," she whispered under her breath, her voice cracking. "I can't afford a Barbie for your birthday." She didn't realize someone was standing just a few feet away, watching, a tall man in a gray suit, his sleeves rolled up, a grocery basket hanging loosely from his hand. Sarah didn't notice him when she wiped her eyes, took one last look at the doll, and turned to leave. She had learned long ago to smile for her daughter, even when her world was falling apart. That evening, she stopped by a small bakery on the way home. Lily adored cupcakes, and if she couldn't have a Barbie, at least she could have a small pink frosted cupcake with one candle. Sarah spent the last of her change on it. When they got home to their tiny apartment, the one with peeling wallpaper and the hum of a broken heater, Lily ran to the table, eyes wide with joy. "You got me a cupcake," she squealed. Sarah smiled through tears. "Of course, baby. You're my whole world." The girl clapped her hands. "Can I make a wish?" "Always." Lily closed her eyes tight and whispered, "I wish Mommy didn't have to work so much." The words hit Sarah harder than any amount of exhaustion ever could. She leaned in, kissed her daughter's forehead, and whispered, "One day, sweetheart. One day." When Lily fell asleep that night, clutching her old second-hand teddy bear, Sarah sat at the edge of the bed and cried silently. She didn't cry because of the Barbie, not really. She cried because she wanted to give her daughter everything she never had, and the world kept saying no. She didn't notice the envelope slipped under the door until morning. It was plain white, with her name written in neat handwriting, Sarah. No address, no return name. Inside was a note. Greater than, "Good mothers are priceless. Come to Harper Industries tomorrow at 10 a.m., front desk, ask for Mr. Reeves." And beneath it, a crisp $100 bill. Sarah blinked, confused. Harper Industries was one of the largest companies in town. She'd cleaned their offices once as part of her night job, emptying trash bins and wiping desks while executives talked about million-dollar contracts. She thought it had to be a mistake. But she couldn't ignore it. Not when she didn't even know how she'd pay the electric bill next week. The next morning, she dressed in her best blouse, the one she only wore to job interviews, and borrowed her neighbor's car because her own had broken down again. As she stood in the massive glass lobby of Harper Industries, surrounded by polished marble and security guards, she felt completely out of place. "Can I help you?" the receptionist asked politely. Yes," Sarah said softly. "I was told to ask for Mr. Reeves." The woman's expression shifted slightly, recognition, maybe even surprise. "One moment, please." She made a call. Minutes later, an elevator opened, and the man from the toy store stepped out. The same man with the gray suit and kind eyes. He smiled warmly. "I was hoping you'd come." Sarah blinked in shock. You're Mr. Reeves." He nodded. "Ethan Reeves, CEO of Harper Industries." She felt her breath catch. "I think there's been a mistake, sir." "I don't. There's no mistake," he said gently, motioning for her to follow him. "Come with me." His office looked like something out of a movie, a skyline view, walls lined with books and awards. But what caught Sarah's attention was a Barbie doll sitting right in the center of his desk. Her eyes filled instantly. Ethan noticed. "My little girl used to love these," he said softly. "She passed away 5 years ago." Complications from a heart condition. Sarah's hand flew to her mouth. I'm so sorry. He nodded quietly, taking a moment before continuing. Yesterday, I saw you in that store. I heard what you said to your daughter. And it reminded me of something I'd forgotten, what real love looks like. She didn't know what to say. Ethan continued, you've been working hard to raise your daughter alone. I can't imagine how difficult that must be. But I'd like to offer you something, not charity, but a chance. He opened a folder on his desk. There's a new position opening here. Administrative support, decent pay, benefits. I'd like you to take it. Sarah's eyes widened. But, I don't have a degree. I don't think I'm qualified. He smiled. You're qualified because you show up. Because you care. We can teach skills. We can't teach heart. Tears streamed down her cheeks before she could stop them. I don't know how to thank you, she whispered. Just keep loving your daughter, Ethan said. That's thanks enough. The weeks that followed felt like a dream. Sarah started her new job, nervous at first, but she learned quickly. Her coworkers welcomed her kindly, and Ethan often stopped by, offering encouragement or small pieces of advice. For the first time in years, she could breathe. She bought fresh fruit for Lily's lunches, paid off her overdue bills, even fixed the heater. But the real moment came a month later, on a Saturday morning, when she brought Lily to the park for the company's annual family picnic. Ethan was there, helping serve food to the employees' kids. When he saw Lily, his eyes softened, something deep and unspoken passing through them. Hi there, he said, crouching to her level. You must be Lily. She nodded shyly. I heard you had a birthday recently, he said. I missed it, but I think I owe you something. He handed her a small pink box. Lily gasped as she opened it. Inside was the Barbie she'd wished for. The same one from the store. Her squeal of joy filled the air. Mommy, it's her. It's Barbie. Sarah looked up, tears glistening in her eyes. You didn't have to. I wanted to, Ethan said softly. Sometimes the smallest kindness can change everything. Years passed. Sarah grew into her new life, eventually promoted, later helping Ethan start a foundation for single parents struggling to make ends meet. One evening, as she tucked Lily into bed, now older, brighter, her room full of laughter and light, she caught sight of the old Barbie on the shelf. The one that had started it all. Lily smiled sleepily. Mommy, do you think nice people like Mr. Reeves are angels? Sarah paused, brushing her daughter's hair back gently. Maybe, sweetheart, she whispered. Maybe they're just people who remember what love feels like. And for the first time in a long while, Sarah felt peace, the kind that comes not from having everything, but from realizing that kindness, once given, ripples far beyond what we can see. Because sometimes, one whispered apology in a toy aisle becomes the beginning of a miracle.